Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, depending on what time of the day or night it is, wherever you are joining us. I'm Ryan, aka Raider, aka Big Honcho around here.
Kind of stroking your ego there, aren't you, Ryan?
A
Anyway,
little bit.
and I am
I'm your
Jacob,
typical
aka
Dan.
LT. Hey, aka LT, and we're back. We kind of took a break last week due to some real life situations and the fact that Cookie doesn't love us anymore,
Yeah,
as he
Cookie.
is decided to step down after one episode. But moving forward, it'll just be me and Ryan and our occasional teammates who decide that they also want it. We have our occasional teammates that'll stop by every once in a while, but that's
Confirmed
when
hates us.
confirms hates us. I agree. But quite a bit's happened the last few weeks. We have the new Japanese set, Bao Region. I keep saying Legion whenever I say this set. Bao Region that's coming out that should has some fun cards. I'm excited for this set to come in English.
Dude.
And then some more COVID news, including the canceling of cups and challenges. Damn it.
Yay.
So I
Less work.
because I think the set review will probably take more time than anything. Let's just go into the COVID protocols because very mixed reception of these protocols that I've seen from Pokemon from the player base, from both our friends and from online talks. As I said earlier, premier events aren't happening this year. No cups, no challenges, no nothing. I mean, I get it. Like,
Well, you can't say all premier events because regionals is a premier event.
Regionals and below regionals.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You can't like possibly coordinate with so many regions and states and try to make sure that it's run the way you want, especially when it's like to a local judge's discretion.
And since
But
there's a war going on,
that's a thing. Trying to keep that in my mind right now, for obvious reasons.
to war you go, Lieutenant Dan.
I am not. So I said this before on the podcast, and I will say this again. Why did Pokemon have to make their COVID policies so goddamn convoluted? Why couldn't they have just followed the example of Wizards, of Konami, of Star City Games, of Channel Fireball? Why couldn't they just followed theirs when they were running events just fine? Nobody was complaining. I mean, you'll get complaining from the people who don't want to wear masks or do that. Those people don't count. But like the general player base had no issue with these restrictions. Pokemon just decided, oh, screw that noise. We're gonna do our own thing and make it very convoluted. Because like, if you read some of these requirements, Ryan, I know you have them down pat because you're a judge. You're one of the bigger judges around. Like,
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that
far. In our local area, not counting Daryl. Anyway, but like let's start with local events. Signs must be posted at each public entrance and clear to view clientele, basically saying, hey, if you're sick or you know someone who's sick with COVID, don't come in. Wear appropriate face masks. No eating or drinking in the venue during the events unless the eating space is separated. Sanitize your hands basically in between each round. You're allowed to touch other players' cards like discard pile and any other zone, but don't do the handshake. Although most of our friends, our groups, just do the fist bump. Who cares? Each match must be separated by 3 feet. A separate area that adheres to laws and regulations regarding social distance is designated spectators. And events that are to total participation to 30 individuals, including players and spectators, at any time indoors, 60 when outdoors. So, local event requirements aren't even that bad. Like, that's more manageable. I don't agree with the restriction on participation, but that's just me. Then we get to premiere events. Ryan, do you want to inform our audience who don't know what the premiere event requirements are? Because oh boy.
Well, so premier events like regional championships, internets, or worlds, or stuff like that. All the players and staff must be fully vaccinated, must provide proof that you're vaccinated, and you must have your boosters required, must have boosters if the most recent dose was at least 7 months or more prior to the event that you were attending. And all vaccinations must have been received at least 2 weeks before the start date of the event. So, yeah, if you haven't gotten vaccinated and you're going to, Salt Lake City or Liverpool or any of those places, you better jump on that quick, like in a hurry. And I would just suggest doing the Johnson & Johnson shot if you're just going to try to do a quickie, because that's a one and done, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got. But also, here's the part that I really, 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 really do not like, because it's just adding more stress. Like, it's not stress, it's just more BS on top of the stuff that we already have to do. Just players at the premier events must provide a negative COVID-19 test result in addition to their proof of vaccination. Players must provide the result of 1 PCR test result within 72 hours of the event start date, or 2 negative antigen or lateral flow test results taken on consecutive days, at least one of which must be from within 72 hours of the start of the event. So that's word for word from the COVID policies from TPCI. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
you have all these safety precautions. We're showing you proof of vaccination. And even if we're fully vaccinated, we need to still show you negative COVID tests. Like, just like, I get people are asymptomatic sometimes and everything like that, but I think that's a little much. But at the same time, player safety is the most important. So that is why I understand, and I won't argue with it or cause a scene or anything about that. And of course, symptomatic individuals, even if vaccinated, should refrain from participating in an event. Symptomatic participants and those with whom they share accommodations may be asked to leave the event, even if asymptomatic. All event attendees must also socially distance and comply with local regulations. Well, now you know why they pulled out of frickin' Florida, because Florida was like, yeah, fam, we don't do that here. We
Yep.
hug and we love each other.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you, dude. When I first was told about this, or it was brought up to me by our friends Clayton and Brandon. When I was first told about that, like when he was explaining to me the within 72 hours, I was literally confused by that wording because they do not word that very well at all.
Yeah. So within 72 hours uh of which day? Friday, because we can we check in Friday, show you our test results? So can we get it on Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Or do we have to get it on Wednesday and show you on Saturday? Like,
Yep.
because I need to know, because I'm leaving Thursday and I need to know if I need to get one Wednesday or if I can get one Tuesday.
Exactly. Like that's literally how I felt figuring this out. Because again, a lot of the stuff, like even if I don't fully agree with it, I'll still do it because I want to play. I genuinely love this game and I want to continue playing. But for those who don't want to play, I don't blame them for not wanting to. Pokemon is not making it easy for them.
Yep.
But
And I mean, I just feel bad for the kids and everyone that just they're not going to be able to play.
yeah,
Because some parents and or some younger adults that have kids just have that strong opinion against COVID, and they're just like, nope, we're not getting the vaccine, we're not doing masks, we're not doing that. Like, but you want to go to local events and uh, try to break the rules there and still not follow the guidelines. Like, it's hard when Pokemon sits there and says, hey, for league challenges and cups and stuff, we're going to do these protocols, but have those protocols in place, but not have those events, which is weird. And then all of a sudden, the Supreme Court saying, hey, mask mandates are now lifted in pretty much every state. So, and then, a lot of stores and stuff. I know a lot of more private businesses and a lot as well, bigger companies um, are still like, hey, you got to wear a mask in here. Like at Darkside where we play, we just got told, hey, you don't have to wear a mask anymore in the game area. Okay, cool.
cool.
If we get league challenges and cups back and those protocols are still in place, I mean, I gotta follow what Pokemon says, and I gotta say, hey, I know Darkside has this, but Pokemon says this, and we gotta follow what Pokemon says. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but you can't play here.
Yep.
So
Speaking of which, just checked the regionals. So far, so good. Nothing else has been canceled. I doubt any other further events will be canceled, but it's you never know. You never know.
I swear to God, if Secaucus gets canceled, I'm going to lose my mind, but I'm still going up there.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, I don't know why you would stop yourself.
Oh, I'm not stopping my trip. I'll be sad that I won't be able to spend it with, you know, all of us on the team and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, still going up there.
Yeah, absolutely. You're already paid for it. Might as well. But like,
I haven't paid for the other three were like, yeah, I got points for the event or the hotel where the event is for 160 a night. I was like, but my military discount can get you for 147 a night for the place that you walk 5 minutes down the street.
yep, can't confirm.
So you want to spend
So
160 a night instead of 147 a night just
yep,
because it's there. But when we have dinner at Buffalo Wild Wings, since it's right across the street from the hotel where I'm staying at, um, you're gonna have to walk there and back. So
uh,
that's y'all's choice, but I'm just gonna go with the cheaper hotel.
yeah, definitely, dude. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I think that's really all we have anything to comment on the at least the COVID side. I mean, I would love to hear if anyone's listening and would like to bug either me or Ryan. Let us know because I think it'd be funny.
Find us on Facebook, SRQ PokeVets.
Let's
We're
go.
on Facebook. Soon gonna make an Instagram. I'm gonna make a Discord. We're gonna try to get everything on social media if we can get the podcast out there a lot more.
Yep.
I'm hoping to be able to get on more of a routine schedule, add a little bit more content, get more like quote unquote guests, special guests on, and um, maybe go even try do uh, live recordings uh, if that would be possible on a weekend or something. We could just do that at uh, Descent or Dark Side or something if we need to meet up at a place.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah,
we can we can start we can start we can plug our pluggables at the end of the episode.
yeah,
Moving forward, just a quick little aside because we are trying to grow this pod. I know I think I speak for Ryan when I say this when this is a lot of fun and I want to see this succeed. But with that aside, I got the other big news that's been coming out. The next Japanese set is out. Hey, Battle Region, how you doing?
Battle Legion, Legion of Doom.
Region, not Legion. You're making the same mistake I did.
No, I was just making fun of your mistake.
How dare you, sir? So pretty small set. I feel like there should be more coming out later on before, because this is supposed to be our what, June set in English.
I think it's June.
Late May, early June, either or.
Late May, early June, something like that.
Yeah.
It is internationally on May 27th.
Okay, so yeah.
Called
Is it Astral Radiance or something?
Astral Radiance.
Hey, let's go. And we should still be getting more cards from this set, especially because the pack art that's been leaked in. Because if you didn't know, in France they leaked the pack art for the set. They did actually, or at least some of the products. And it actually looks pretty decent. Not gonna lie.
Isn't Starmie's freaking character card coming out in this set?
Yeah, but for Astral Radiance, by the way, you know what else we're supposed to get in this set eventually? So there are 5 pack arts for this set. It's the Hisuian's final starters, so Samurott, Typhlosion, and Decidueye, but it's also the origin forms for Dialga and Palkia, and those have not been revealed yet. So we still got some stuff coming. Or at least those cards have not been revealed yet. So we still got some exciting debuts to see. But with all that out of the way, I think we can do a quick little rundown of some of these new cards. Like I said, some of these cards we already went through. Vespiquen, Honey. I believe we went through Virizion and a couple others. But
yeah, I think we went through Lucario and all those basic ones.
Yep.
Chandelier, Starmie. I know we did talk about what I said before we started recording. Vileplume. That's it's gonna a little bit of throwback to our now expanded days. Stage 2 evolves from Bloom for grass and 2 colorless, so grass double turbo. I mean, whatever. Allergy Storm, 90 damage, flip coin. If heads, your opponent can't play any support cards from their hand during their next turn. But if tails, your opponent can't play any item cards from their hand during their next turn. So, kind of win-win. So we're going back to back in the day of Vileplume block. So, I mean, I don't see a problem with this deck. I can see that being a thing. That with probably Leafeon or something like that. I can see it. I can see it being a thing. Maybe not like a full deck, but
Yeah, I am not looking forward to this card. I never liked Vileplume. I've never liked the old Vileplume lock deck with Decidueye. I mean, I know that deck only became really bad because of a certain banned card called Force of Giant Plants. I hope that card never comes off the ban list. That could be a fun. Speaking of, actually, that would be a really fun episode topic talking about the ban list and if anything in current standard or expanded needs to get banned. Because I I think I think we got some thoughts uh on these lists. Anyway, the next one I want to talk about as your resident fire boy uh is Sparkling Heatran. Uh
oh my god, so good.
so so here's the thing about the sparkling cards, and they're weird. So they act like gold stars. You can only have one period in your deck. So there are currently 3 revealed, that being Heatran, Hawlucha, and Greninja. You can only have a Heatran in the deck, but you can't have the other 2. So starting with Heatran, which I personally think is the best of the 3. 160 basic Pokemon. Uh, for a fire colorless, which is not hard at all, especially now with Magma Basin being a thing. This attack does 70 damage times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This card, it's a good thing they made that sparkling rule because this card is absolutely stupid. This is going into every fire deck as a one of by force.
Oh yeah.
And it's completely ubiquitous. Like, you don't need a lot to make this work.
So here's the thing: you can't have more than one sparkling Pokemon in your deck. So, but if I have Heatran, can I have 4 of them?
No, like I said, I believe it is the Gold Star rule where you can only have one copy of one.
I mean, that would make sense, but you know,
I believe that's how it is, but we will have to wait until the card is, in English. We get the rules for it.
loopholes.
Yeah, for real. Uh, Unfortunately, there's not that much exciting in this set that we haven't talked about already. However, I guess we could just move on to the next sparkling Pokemon. It's Sparkling Greninja. Uh, the ability, okay, discard an energy, draw 2. It is literally trade. Just you have to discard energy, which isn't too bad, especially in water when you want to discard energy to get it out. And then for water colorless, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, do 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. Huh. I wonder what that sounds like. Hey, oh my god, what was Greninja Break's ability called?
Water Shuriken.
Yeah, it is return to that, but I think I think it's a good card. I think Sparkling Greninja will never be a headlining player. I think it's literally just there for that ability, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, then people are playing Manaphy, so it stops it. So
Unfortunately, yeah.
but
That's all. Like I said, there's not much to talk about, especially for Sparkling Greninja. I'm just not impressed with it. I think it could be good. Ryan, you got anything else, or you want to move on to? I believe the next would be the first of our Hisuian starters.
yeah, go on to the next because I'm confused by its psychic.
All right, so Hisuian Typhlosion V, Psychic type, 210 HP, basic Pokemon for nothing. So for a free attack, so that's already good. The opponent's active is now burned. Okay, that's for free. I'll take that. And then for a psychic colorless, Shivering Flames, do 120 cards, and then choose a card for your opponent. What the hell did I say?
120 cards.
Thank you.
Words.
Yeah, I know. for 120 damage. Choose a card. Now I'm saying it right. From your opponent's hand without looking. Reveal the card, and then they shuffle into their deck. So basically, you get a random card to shuffle back to their hand, which could be very good or make no difference at all. But hey, it's a certain denial. So, and then before you start questioning the typing, I think we can let's go over the V Star real quick, which I'm actually very excited for this card. I might build a deck for this because Typhlosion is one of my favorite starters ever, and this card is hilarious. So Hisuian Typhlosion V-Star is 260 HP, Psychic type. Once again, Psychic colorless for Hollow Flame. 180 damage, put 3 damage counters on your opponent's bench in any way you like. So, 1-1-1, 1-2, 2-1, whatever you need to do. And then Shadow Roaster, first of all, I love that freaking name, is the V-Star power. For a single colorless, or single Psychic, sorry, if your opponent's active has 4 damage counters on it, it is knocked out. I wonder what's an easy way to get 4 damage counters on a Pokemon. Hi, Italian.
Yeah. So here's my question. Why did you make Typhlosion clearly a fire Pokemon? The arts all have fire. And all the attacks are fire attacks. They're not psychic. So why?
So I do have an answer for you. Because Hisuian Typhlosion is a ghost fire type.
Yeah, so make it fire. No,
well, here's the
fire.
Well, here's the problem with that. The last time they did that, they made Blacephalon. I don't think they can afford to do that again.
They made Raichu. They made Blacephalon. It's okay.
I know, but I think the logic is, we have these new as we'll see later with the other Hisuian starters. We have these new dual type forms for these beloved starters, so let's put them on the off typing instead of their normal typing as something different. That, I believe, is the logic for Pokemon.
Yeah.
But as I said, I love this. I think this card is hilarious. I think it can be very good, and I hope it is because I really want to build this deck. Do you got anything on it, Ryan?
No.
No, not impressed. Just don't care.
No, I think it's a great card. I'm upset about it being psychic.
Well, I wonder if you'll be upset about the others.
Probably not.
Well,
it's just clearly the art of the card. Typhlosion is surrounded by fire in the V and in the V Star, but it's a psychic type.
You are really hung up. I didn't think you'd be so hung up on this.
I'm just saying, why are you gonna make it clearly a fire type in the art, but you're gonna make it a psychic type?
Yeah.
Got it. So right. Next card that I think is gonna be a little juicy is Gallade.
Let's see, Gallade. There you are.
Ability Buddy Catch. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for one supporter card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Just a free supporter search. Anytime, once during your turn. And then Helix Cutter, move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon for a Psychic and 2 colorless, and it does 160 damage.
I really wish the attack was better.
Yeah.
Or that it did more. Simply because Buddy Catch is dumb. I think it's a very good ability. And I do like the fact that they're straying away from or they're at least taking a break from, we have the Ralts line in here. Let's automatically go Gardevoir instead of Gallade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see Gallade getting the love that he deserves.
Yeah, and then under that, Diancie, or Diancie, however you want to pronounce it. Arceus. It's Arceus, by the way.
I'm not having this debate with you.
Princess Curtain. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to your bench Pokemon or bench basic Pokemon. Bye bye, boss.
Yeah, the fact that this is a basic that is going to prevent so many cards from stopping you. Basically, so yeah, because it turns off boss, it turns off Avery, it turns off a card we'll talk about later, which is Roxanne. Like it's a cheap, nice little card that I'm glad to see exist. Um, the next couple cards we move into fighting. First, we get Sparkling Halucha, which we've talked about before. It's purely there to do more damage to VMAXs while they're still in the format.
Yep.
Like I might throw one into my single strike deck just because more damage is always better. Just simple as that.
You can do 30 more to Stone Shower.
We're not going to talk about that right now. My pain. But like I brought up earlier, we come to the next Hisuian starter, Hisuian Decidueye V, which is a fighting type. Like I said, it's the off types. Basic Pokemon, 210 HP. For a single fighting, we have Mountain Hunt. Search your deck for up to 2 cards, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Hi, RCS V-Star. And then for a fighting colorless, we have Point Blank Shot. Just 100 damage. And it isn't affected by any effects of the defending Pokemon. So gets past Duraludon, gets past Zamazenta, gets past any like damage reduction abilities like Sandaconda or Double. I don't know why I picked Double as the example, but first one that came in my head. So not bad, honestly. I mean, but here my biggest issue with it. Then we get to the V-Star, which is 270 HP, and then for fighting colorless, we have Somersault Feather, 160 damage, and then you may discard up to 3 energy from your hand. This attack does 30 more for each energy discard this way. So at most you're doing 250.
Plus,
and then
the spell 280.
Yeah, exactly. And then the V-Star power and ability, Wind and Cloud Star, during your turn, draw cards until you have 8 in your hand. I mean, I think it's good. I think it's solid. But, and I'll explain more when we get to Samurott, I think this is the weakest of the 3.
So, I don't have a problem with the art or the typing with this because Decidueye V, he's like destroying the fucking earth. And the art, and Decidueye V Star is, I mean, can't really tell what they're trying to accomplish with the V Star art, but I think he's flying. So I mean, I don't really, but I mean, they don't. Decidueye doesn't look like its normal self because it's a different region.
Yep.
And everything like that. But I mean, it's clearly that's a fighting type. But the one thing I know, you said hello Arceus V-Star with Mountain Hunt. Yeah, you're not using the V-Star ability, but you're using an attack. So just with Arceus V-Star, you're using that ability to pretty much win the game. Boss and switch is basically every time someone needs boss and switch to frickin' win the game, it's like, oh wait, I have Arceus V-Star. Let me just use that ability real quick.
Okay, tiny aside, because you and me talked about this during our locals earlier tonight. Why the hell do these abilities for these V-Star powers do not say either end of turn or only when inactive? Because the fact that you could, like, Winds and Cloud Stars isn't the most atrocious. Like, if you did that on your active, I wouldn't complain because you're just drawing a bunch of cards. That's whatever to me. But Arceus? But Leafeon? You can do this from anywhere. And the fact that, like, literally, if it said only active Pokemon can use this ability or it ends your turn, I wouldn't complain because that's how GXs used to work. And I understand they're V-Stars, so they're different. But this makes them even more powerful than they already are. I just personally think that was an oversight on Pokemon's part. I don't think we'll see an errata or any need for like a ban or a change to it. But it's just something that personally I've noticed and it annoys me.
Well, so a lot of the things like how Arceus is an ability, like I can see if they changed it for future sets where the ability says must be in the active,
Yeah.
but they're not going to change it to where it says it ends your turn. Um, but like with Charizard V Star, I mean that's an attack, so clearly it ends your turn.
Yeah, and I know it's a one and done thing. So like in your example, because you play Arceus and Charizard in your deck for Charizard, like you have to make the decision: do I want the cards or do I want the big fuck off attack?
Yeah.
So in this situation, yes, there is decisions to be made. But in 9 times out of 10, when you're mostly just running like Arceus and a lot of decks that you're gonna do, it's not even a decision.
Yep.
And that's my problem with it. But rant aside, uh, I want to bring up a cute little card, and I think this card is funny, and I think this will make Dark Box so good, and that's Mighty Anna. So for a stage 1, 110 HP, Hustle Bark. If your opponent has any VMAX in play, this Pokemon's attacks cost triple colorless less. Its attack triple colorless for 160 does 52 itself. This thing can one shot a Mew for free, and I think that is hilarious.
Yep.
Pokemon realized they fucked up with Mew, and now they're printing so many cards to combat it. And Mew is still one of, if not the best deck in the game, especially more so.
Ultra Ball made it so much more consistent.
Absolutely, that card. Like I will argue to the end of days. Even though my deck, Single Strike Urshifu, can deal with Mew pretty well, there's a lot of decks that can't. And I think that Mew is and will remain the best deck in the game until some. I don't even think Arceus Box or Charizard or any other deck really passes it. I think it is still the best deck in the game.
Yeah.
It is just like proof tonight. Our friend Clayton, who hasn't played Pokemon in over a year, picked up Mew and casually went 3-1 with it. His only loss was to me, and that's because I know the matchup very well. Like, you know, a deck is busted when I'm not gonna call him a noob, but when someone who hasn't played in a very long time is able to pick it up and just win.
Yep.
Even the mirror matchup he won, which I found very surprising.
Well, I mean, person he played wasn't probably very up to date with that deck, to be honest. So
that's very fair.
But all right, next starter for you.
Hisuian Samurott V. The dark type, like I said, they're doing the off types. For a single dark, zigzag drop, discard up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to your opponent's Pokemon in play. By goodbye Big Charm, goodbye Cape of Toughness, goodbye Tool Jammer. That card or that attack could be very cute and very useful. And then for triple dark, Shadow Slash, 180, discard energy. Nice and simple. Pretty good card. Then we get to the V. Oh my lord, this is going to be such a good deck. V Star, yes. Oh my god. Hisui and Samurott V-Star, 270 HP Dark Pokemon for double Dark Energy, Merciless Blade, 110 damage, and if your opponent's active has any damage counters on it, it does 110 damage more. And then the V-Star Moon Cutting Star, once during your turn, you may put 4 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So the V-Star power is kind of underwhelming in my opinion. I mean, it's good, and if you run it with Typhlosion, you just no, you can't because they cancel each other out. But that attack is so easy to pull off. It's like Victini all over again.
All right.
Like,
Sorry, my computer froze out and I'm rereading the ability. Once during your turn, you may put 4 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So you're just, if it needs 1, 2, 3, or 4 to get knocked out, you can just knock it out.
yep. And like I said, Merciless Blade is a dumb attack. It is Victini all over again.
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't know how this ability is going to work because I know it's the you can't use more than one V-Star power in a game. But is this a repeatable one?
No.
No, you think it's just 4 damage counters and done?
Oh yeah, it's 4 damage counters and done because it clearly says you can't use more than one V-Star power in a game. Because
Right.
once you use it, it's done.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, okay, I know I said Decidueye is probably the most underwhelming V-Star wise, but no, this is probably the most underwhelming V-Star ability, even though I think the V-Star overall is better.
We don't really have much trainers to talk about. About canceling.
So for trainers the two that I really want to talk about, well, there's three actually. Concealing Cologne, basically wheezing on an item. I mean, it's not bad. I like it. I think it can be a very good card. It's mostly for like decks that want to turn off Duraludon, pretty much. Because that's really the only Pokemon that when it's your turn that their ability matters.
Yep.
Then we, then we get Roxanne. This card is just rude. You can only play this card if your opponent has 3 or less prize cards left. Both players shuffle their hands into their decks. You draw 6, they draw 2. I mean, this card's just mean. Hey, I heard you like playing the game. How about no?
How about no?
Yeah. And then past that, we do get a new stadium, which I like. I think this card can be very good, especially in the early turns. But after that, it's a little underwhelming, and that is Jubilife Village. I know this set's going to be based off of Hisui and all of that. But hey, once during each player's turn, they may shuffle their hand and draw 5. But it ends their turn. That's the big thing. It ends your turn. I understand it's a stadium, anyone can use it, and that's a powerful ability. But I don't think I think the ending your turn is what actually kind of kills this card.
All right. So my boys are back. Well, my boy's back, and then he gets an addition.
Yeah. You can take care of this because I do not care for this card at all. I'm gonna hate it.
So when I first started playing, a lot of people played Dark Box, and I really hated Dark Patch. I really hated Dark Cry. I just hated all the cards. But later on, when everything jumped out of like rotation, and I was just like, I want to build expanded. The only expanded deck that I really played during COVID and after COVID, I don't have it together anymore, was like old Dark Box, Darkrai GX, Darkrai Greninja GX, and Darkrai EX, etc. But Darkrai V, a dark and a colorless, Dark Wind, 50 damage. Nah, not that great. Dark Hole, love it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Great memories. Dark, colorless, 130 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Um, I mean, this Pokemon alone, it's not the best. You know, the V Star is what really amps everything up. But being a V basic Pokemon, 210 HP, not many Pokemon are able to knock it out right away. But what I like about the dark types for this set, they're not weak to fighting. They're weak to grass. So
Yeah, that's why I don't like this card. That's why I'm mad at this card. Why can't I one-shot you, damn it?
Darkrai V Star, HP 270. Colorless. Dark Pulse, 30 plus damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each dark energy attached to your Pokemon. Ah, Dark Pulse. I've missed you. But the ability Star Abyss, which is your V-Star power, during your turn, you may search your discard pile for up to 2 item cards and put them into your hand. Well, here's the thing, folks. We're getting Dark Patch back, baby. Yeah, that's right. Dark Patch is back. Frickin' take that Dark Patch, you throw that on the board, and you say, I'm going to get a Dark Energy from my discard pile, and I'm going to attach it to one of my Dark Pokemon on my bench. Tell you what. And then it makes Jacob cry.
It does. I liked it better when dark types were weak to me, not when they actively make it harder for me to play the game.
Yep.
No, but I cannot deny Darkrai is very good. I think it's going to be a very good deck. I think it'll be a tier 1 deck, in complete honesty. Especially now that Dark Patch is back, which reasons. Yeah. But regarding Darkrai, like, it's not broken. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's busted at all. But this is bringing up. But hey, Ryan, did you want another deck to run Arceus with? Well, here you fucking go.
Oh yeah, this is probably like a 3/3 line kind of deck.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But I mean, the cool thing about with this set is that I'm not sure if they're going to have more than 2 decks come out with this set, but you're looking at Lucario V-Star deck and Darkrai V-Star deck there that's going to come out with this set. So it's going to be pretty interesting to sit there and be like, oh, okay, cool. Like I can get the dark patches, I can get the Darkrai's and the V-Star and everything for a lot cheaper price than, having to go out and buy that stuff. But here's the thing. When's it coming out? Because it ain't coming out when the set drops. It's probably coming out like 2 months after the set drops.
Well, I believe we were confirmed for the Lucario to be a box. So I think that might be the same for the Darkrai.
True. I mean, I'm just looking at the list right here. It's Lucario V-Star deck, and it has like the whole list for the deck.
Yeah.
Darkrai. Darkrai has Crobat, Darkrai V, Darkrai V-Star, has dark patches. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a box, but
I think it will be.
I think it's going to be one of those battle arena decks.
Yeah, no, I could absolutely see that. See that.
That's why I'm saying I think the Lucario and the Darkrai are going to be like one of those dual battle arena decks.
Yep.
Like Rayquaza and all that good stuff.
We so before we wrap it up to the cooldown to just like random stuff we want to talk about, two little mini things I want to bring up with you. So first, something I've been noticing a lot online, especially on PokeBeach, who does a lot, at least in my opinion, the best source for our news and finding out new product and when new cards come out. When they announced the secret rares for the set, there might be something that people noticed. No more alt arts
Yep.
for Pokemon. Instead, and this is what I'm pretty sure they've been permanently replaced with character rares.
Yep.
And there has been a lot of mixed opinions. Me personally, like I've seen so many people on the comment section for the secret rare page on PokeBeach saying, "Where are the alt arts? Why are they getting rid of them? Where they go? Blah 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 blah." I'm
Okay.
just like, alt arts are cool and all, but like I like the character rares better. But
So here's the thing. So like Charizard V, my alt art with Venusaur in the background battling Charizard. Cool alt art. Very cool. You know what would be cooler? If Charizard V was with Leon, or if Charizard was with just throw it back there with Gary or something from way
Lance,
back in the day, or Lance, or someone. Just it would be cool with a trainer that clearly had a Charizard, or even Ash.
yeah,
It'd be interesting to see that. That could be the character rare, also, because they're not saying, oh, the character rare is going to be the Dedenne or the Oranguru character rare card. It could be the Sylveon Umbreon character rare card, the V.
mm-hmm.
You know, that, I mean, that's where a lot of people are probably misconstruing things until pictures come out saying, hey, these are the character rares that we're talking about. That's when people should make comments. Right now, people shouldn't be making comments, because it's like a lot of the professors and collectors were very upset when they're like, oh, hey, no more staff promos.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I had a little hiccup when our last staff promo came out, and the owner was like, why am I giving you this staff promo when I can just sell it on to someone online for $1,200? And I was like, because I collect them and I get them for free, and that's my payment for running the events. If you do sell it, I would report you to Pokemon, and you would lose your sanction stuff, and you would stop getting product from Pokemon, and you would have to reapply to Pokemon, and they wouldn't sanction your store after you doing that. And I mean, after that conversation, that's when it's like, oh, I was just asking a question. And I'm like, oh, well, I was just giving you an answer.
I mean, that's precisely why from people who I've talked to, that's precisely why they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Is because of store owners like that.
Yep.
And as someone who, never a judge, never really like was around to do so during that time, I never understood the whole process of it really. But I do understand and I do enjoy them. I do think they're really cool products. I want to see more of them.
Yep.
The other one, and I guess starting next year, this will probably be. Are you ready for a new base set, Ryan? Scarlet and Violet have been announced. We are getting Gen 9.
Oh
Holy,
my God,
holy hell!
exciting. So excited.
Oh my god. Okay, so again, for those who don't know, Gen 9 has been announced. Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet. We are back to the color naming convention. First time since Gen 5? Which, I don't know why they picked Scarlet and Violet. I mean, I'm sure they have their own process, but interesting picks. So this pretty much guarantees, at least for the card game, oh, we're getting a new base set next year. because that's how this always works.
That's how it works.
Yep. Games were confirmed for later this year, November 2020, and we got some promo art for the location, which apparently seems to be heavily inspired by Spain, which I think is huge. I have a
Yeah,
lot of lot of Hispanic and Latino friends who love the fact that we're going to a Spanish like inspired region.
yeah, and knowing our luck, the game's going to be pushed back, and that it's only going to be released to Canada again, and we won't see it until probably late 2024.
Okay, we're not talking about Pokemon live right now. The other big news is we got the 3 starters, and oh my god, I'll be honest with you. When I woke up Sunday morning and saw the starters, I actually really did not like their designs at first. But when I looked at them more and got more used to them, I think they're great. I think all 3 of them are home runs.
Yeah,
Uh,
the whole they doing my boy dirty in our chat was probably the funniest thing that I saw. Oh my god, I started dying
oh
when
my god.
that was posted because I was just like, oh my god, it's so true. Yeah, everyone's like just up, this is the derp Pokemon 100%.
Yep. We got Spree. Forgive me for our listeners who know how to pronounce these. I do not. I can barely speak normal English, let alone some of these other languages. We
Yeah,
got Brigatito, which is our grass starter, grass cat. Fuikoko, my fire croc boy, the one who's been memed into oblivion. Our fire starter, and then our water starter, Quaxley. At least that was simple. Um, Honestly, though, this is probably all 3 of them are great. Are great starters. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game. And the meme game out of this, just these 3 Pokemon. We know nothing else about this game, about these new Pokemon. So much stuff has come out. Each of them literally has their own little story or arc. Sprigatito is all of the fan base saying, "I swear to God, Pokemon, if you make him stand on 2 legs like you did with Litten, we're going to riot," which I agree with.
or I'm
Uh,
choosing Donald Duck over there.
Quaxley is literally Donald Duck, or if you're more inclined, he's a JoJo character. I've seen so many memes comparing him to Josuke, the protagonist from Part 4. It is really funny. And then it's my boy, Foy Coco. I love him. He is so precious, but he is such a derp that everyone's just calling him stupid. It's like, no, just show our little croc boy some love. Why you gotta be like this? Uh Also, something really fun I've noticed over this is that I had some predictions uh for our of the final typings for them. So each of them is at least monotype for now. Each of them is grass, fire, and water to begin with. But as time goes on, my prediction at least, and we can get to Ryan later on, is I think it's going to be a grass dark type, which doesn't help for those who are like, no, please, for the love of God, Pokemon, don't put them on 2 legs. Which I agree with. We shouldn't, but it'd be funny. Uh, I think our Croc Boy will be Fire Ground because, like I said, he's a Croc. I think Ground or Rock would make the most sense to me. And then finally, I think our little Duck Boy will be Fire, or it will be probably Grass, or will be probably Water Flying. So, Ryan, do you have any predictions for final typings on these 3 little dudes?
Yeah, fire, grass, and water.
You think it's gonna be monotypes again?
I mean, no, they're they're probably gonna have some crazy typing. Frickin' Duck Boy's gonna probably, like you said, probably gonna be flying, and I mean, just looking at him, uh, gonna be flying and probably ground, maybe.
I can see that.
Then like I'm thinking of far-fetched, basically. Um, and looking at you know, probably New Lytton because that thing's gonna go on two legs.
Oh, I
Uh,
hope not.
Definitely grass, 100%. Um, but at the same time, Duck Boy is a duck, so it's probably water. So I think it's gonna be the starters have always been fire, grass, and water.
Of course.
There hasn't been any change to that unless you're talking about Gen 1 Ash gets Pikachu. That's the only one.
True. Hey, it'd be cool if they broke off one of these times, but then
Well,
you're really
they,
pushing it.
they probably may have dual typings, but it has to be fire, grass, and water 100% because they they changed the game a lot enough that you got to keep some of the parts true to the story.
There. Uh, One last little aside, then we will move on to the cooldown, and that's just I hate the trainer designs so much. I think they look horrible. Oh
Yeah.
my god! Like I think it's cool that Pokemon is doing. Oh, they have different color palettes for whatever game you pick. I think that's fine. I think that's actually a really good idea. But say what you will about Pokemon being a children's game, which in essence it is. And say what you will about previous protagonists looking like and being children. These are literally the most children looking protagonists we've had, period. I hate these designs so much. They better show us some new shit to change with this because oh my god, these are awful. Eh, all right, I have nothing else to talk about. Violet and Scarlet. Do you have anything before we move on to our last little bit?
No.
All right, so moving on to the cooldown to our little talk about anything cool outside of the world of Pokemon. I mean, for me personally, uh, I am just I'm hoping for events to start coming back soon because I can't wait. But for me personally, um, wow, it's actually a lot harder than I expected it to be, huh? The only thing really for this week that I've been at least keeping my eye on. I don't think I'm gonna get it yet, but the much awaited game Elden Ring is finally out. I've heard so many good things about that game. Even if you don't like was it Soulsborne that they're called now? Like games where you just spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die. Um, I think this game looks absolutely amazing. I think it's going to be it. It apparently has blown everybody's expectations away, even though it was highly hyped. It didn't fall into the same trap that Fallout did, that Cyberpunk did, and that so many other extremely hyped games fell into. So I'm excited to see more of it. I am generally curious to see if I'll maybe get it sometime in the future, but it just looks really good. Um, Actually, while I was saying that, I just remembered something else. Hey Ryan, I need your opinion on this as our Call of Duty aficionado. No more yearly releases. How are you feeling, buddy?
Oh, I'm fine.
You're fine?
Oh
Nothing?
yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you know, uh, there's a game that I wish PlayStation would remaster, but wish it would be remastered on everything because I would really, really enjoy playing it again. SOCOM 2, U.S. Navy SEALs.
Ooh.
Oh boy, I spent. I mean that game right there was the first online video game that I played with neighbors, friends from school, and everything on PlayStation 2. And yeah. There was one day we played for almost 48 hours straight, and I was just like my dad was surprised I was awake for that long, and I'm like, we're on a roll. Like, started
I
a
thought
clan, we're building it up, we're going ham.
I thought you were gonna say your dad said I'm surprised you're alive.
No.
uh all right. Well,
But
honestly, with that, I have nothing else.
tell you tell you what I'm obsessed with right now. What game I'm obsessed with is No Man's Sky.
Yeah, no, like
Bruh,
that game never appealed to me. I understand the appeal of it. I understand the appeal of a lot of those kind of games. It just never did for me.
let me tell you. All right, there's 27 achievements in this game. I have unlocked 17 of them.
Hmm.
Um, I have 119.1 hours of playtime.
Wow.
I've only been playing a month.
Wow.
Um, but I have two sugar daddies on the game, so it's okay.
Isn't one of them our frequent guest Manny?
Yes, Manny
Uh,
is one of my sugar daddies on the game, and we have another one of our friends that sometimes plays with me and Manny. His name is Orcus. I'm not going to give his real name out because I don't have his permission.
fair.
So, um, but yeah, he's been playing since the game originally came out. Oh my god, he literally has everything and like the craziest stuff on his ships and bases, and like he's been everywhere. I mean, he's if anyone was close to beating the game, I would say he would be, but I mean, you literally would have to play this game from day one every day till the day you died. Then your kids would have to play. Then their 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 kids would have to play. And maybe if they don't do any updates for many years, you may be able to because there's like 78 quintillion planets in this game that you have to basically go to. Then you have to scan all the plant life, all the animal life, all the minerals, and all that stuff to say, okay, you've completed everything on this planet. So, and there's sometimes a lot of it's hard to find, or you can't get to it because of toxic stuff, or it's too hot, it's too cold, whatever. So, but yeah, it's it. You can't. I mean, it's a game that was created just to be a huge open world to play with friends, and you just can't beat it. I mean, but it's really fun to me and everything. I mean, uh, I think my goal right now is to just get all the achievements, and once I get all the achievements, I'll probably jump back to New World that I was playing with Joe and all them with, and start getting my character back up to that, and try to get Manny on that game too. But I mean, yeah,
New, New World is like that just sounds like a game like like another really popular MMO right now, Lost Ark, that a lot of people are trying to get. My friends are trying to get me into. But like as I've stated before, I am not very much an MMO person. It's very hard for me to get into one, let alone two. So there's gonna be a lot going through that. Before we hop off, also I would like to say, and I'm calling myself out on this, because I feel like you have thought about this when we fully get our socials out there. Posting the video of a certain playmat that I now own that you and our buddies forced upon me.
I'll post it on our Facebook page.
Oh my goodness. Context for those who don't know, as I've said before, I'm a lieutenant in the United States Army, and because Ryan thinks he's clever, and ever since we became friends, he refers to me as Lieutenant Dan, and surprised me with a playmat this past weekend. That is a meme of a cat on a table that says, "Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs," and I hate to say the fact I've actually gone 3-1 every single time I've played with that mat. So it's actually helping me win, and I hate it.
Fact. So that obviously means you need to use it all the time. And to add on, actually, you know what? We'll save that for another time. But that's all I have for tonight.
I know there's one more coming.
I gotta get to bed. Got job interview stuff in the morning.
I agree. As we sign off for the night for SRQ PokeCasts, I am Jacob,
AKA Zazu, AKA Lieutenant Dan.
God damn
it. I had to. And I'm Ryan, AKA Tordo, AKA Raider, AKA Big Poncho,
AKA Pain in My Ass,
AKA I don't give a shit.
All right, we will see you guys next week, where we will hopefully finally be on our back to our normal schedule. So for now, peace.
Deuces.